So, black men, if more, Meg Bro, and all the other brothers, I might have to do this over. Bros. You know, I just want to, I want to say thank you to all the brothers who have hit me up so far. All the advocates. I consider all of you brothers to be advocates. You know, you are advocating for the intelligence in your community. You are advocating for the intelligent ones in your community. The ones, you know. And, I just want to say thank you. You brothers, you brothers, I'm proud of y'all brothers, man. I'm proud of y'all. Y'all doing y'all thing. You know, y'all doing y'all thing on the individual level, but y'all see that y'all can really be doing much greater things on a collective level. You know, we understand that nobody is going to do this stuff for us. You know, and I need all the advocates. I need all the advocates. I need all of you people that I need all the people who have skills, who have talents, who have businesses. We're gonna do this group thing, you know. We're gonna do this group thing, but this is for the brothers, man. You know, this is for the brothers, because, you know, I don't want to hear any back talk from the strong, independent community. You are independent, you know. I really wish you individuals will miss my channel. Will skip by here, because this content is not for you. This is for the real brothers and the sisters, so-called sisters. This is for real men and real women who are working together. You know. And but this is mostly for brothers. This is something that brothers have to build on their own for the most part, you know. You know, you women, some of you women will serve a purpose. You'll serve a purpose, but ultimately this is about the brothers. This is something that the brothers must do for themselves. You know. Excuse me. We gotta move forward, man. I'm calling all the advocates. If you advocate for the intelligence, for the intelligent ones in your community, then you should be at the table. You should be ready to put your skills up and back us up. Because you understand that the Ray Rays and Pookies of the world are not gonna be doing anything to help you in your community. They're gonna see you making moves, and they're gonna start, you know, they're gonna some of them might hate on you. Some of them, you know, some of them just gonna be like, you know, whatever. Some of them are gonna be hating on you, and some of them are going to, you know, try to push you forward. You know, but they're not gonna help you. They're not gonna help you, man. The only ones that are gonna help you are the intelligent ones of your community. You know, this is about the men and women who can put their egos aside and move forward. This is what's holding us back. This is the only thing that's holding us back. Black people have money. Black people have cars. Black people got education. Black people got skills in every single field of endeavor that you can think of. Black people have businesses. They need more businesses, but black people have businesses. But we cannot come together based on the color of our skin, because there are people that share your skin tone, but they do not share what you're advocating for, and they will never share that. They do not share your ideology. They do not share your philosophies. They might not share your spiritual or religious beliefs. I mean, it's hard to come together based on skin color. That's a dangerous move. When the so-called founding fathers of this country came together, it wasn't based on skin tone. It was not based on whiteness. Later on, it became about whiteness because they seen that they could use that as a ploy. They could use that to usurp this entire country, where they didn't have to share it with anyone. Later on, it became about whiteness, but in the beginning, it had nothing to do with whiteness. It was just people coming together for one common cause. And I'm not saying that these men were honorable men, but they were able to put their differences aside for the most part. Many of them traded on each other. You ever heard of Benedict Arnold? Many of them turncoat on each other. But that lets you know that there will never be a perfect time for brothers to move forward. We are only interested in the intelligent ones. All of you strong, independent people, y'all can stay in the other community. We are advocating for a different community. A community that's based on intelligence, not the color of your skin. You cannot base, every time you create a black movement, you have to think, what's the opposite of black? What's the opposite of black? Waiting. Every time then you fall into this polarity, the black-white dynamic. You're always in this thing. You're always blaming white people when you have what you need. You have the intelligence. You have everything that you need right there in your mind, and you're praying. You try. You can't come together based on religion. You're praying. You're hoping. You're wishing. You already have everything you need. The only thing that we don't have is togetherness. And I definitely want to be part of that togetherness, man. I definitely want to be a part of that. This is not about me. This is about the group. This is about those children. This is about those men and boys that are being neglected out here. We got to keep our eyes on the prize. That is the prize. If we can help them, they will go on to be those intelligent men and women. They will look back and see that someone help them. Someone was trying to help them out. Not every person, there will be ranks within our groups, because every person ain't gonna make it to the top ranks. The top rank, they're not gonna make it. They're gonna come in. They're gonna, they're gonna wanna, get their deals funded. And they're gonna want to make a lot of money, and then they're gonna want to go back to the other community. They were never really with you. They're gonna buy them a big house. They're gonna move off to the suburbs, and that's gonna be their life. They really think that that's what this is about. They're not gonna reach the top ranks. It was meant for them to stay, or it was meant for them to only reach a certain level, man. Within your community. So we definitely gotta keep our eyes on the prize. You are going to be able to benefit from your sacrifice. You are going to be able to benefit from everything that the brothers do. Just imagine, you got thousands of brothers together. If we go out there, we fix up a house, we buy a house. We buy a house for, let's say we buy a house for $100,000, or a house that's let's say we buy a house for $100,000, right? And that house is worth about $250,000, right? But it's gonna cost about maybe $20,000 to fix up. But we can cut our cost by volunteering. See, because in most houses, it's not the materials that cost the most money. It's the labor. The labor is what costs the most money. Now, if you have hundreds of brothers working on one house, y'all fix that house and y'all get that house back on the market, you've saved damn near $20,000 in labor costs. Let's say the labor cost was $20,000. You save $20,000. That would mean we could either put higher end appliances in that house, or we could take $10,000 off the actual retail price of that house. So if every house is selling in that neighborhood for $250,000, and we sell that house for $240,000, how fast do you think that house is gonna sell? How fast do you think that house is gonna sell? Of course, we want to sell it to one of the brothers, right? We got thousands of brothers. We want to sell that house to one of the brothers. We might sell it to a bunch of the brothers. Like I said, you brothers could buy, we all can get together and buy that house. Then we take out a home equity loan on that house. Now you see where I'm going with this? You see how easy it is for brothers to move forward when they work as a group, as a team? You can take over an entire block. That's what these people are doing. That's what these other people are doing. They're coming into your communities. They're buying one house. 10 of them are getting together. 10, 20 of them are getting together. They're buying one house. They each pay about $100 a month on that house. They're getting together. They're doing the repairs. They flip that house. They selling it to people who look just like them. Then they're turning around and then they're going to buy the house next door or 2 doors down. And then they all do the same thing again. All 20 or 30 or 50 of them get together. They're all buying putting in on that house. They fix it up. They have some more people. They got their own people that's moving into that house. Then they move on to the next house. This is how they're taking over your communities. Now a lot of brothers just sitting around. They don't know how this is happening. You can't get brothers to do this until now. That's what we're trying to do. That's just one of the many things. We're going to move as a unit, as a unified group. If one of us falls, the group moves forward. The group continues to move forward. There's no way that we can't get together, find a house, all invested in it. All of us invest in it. And with the volunteers, and if we volunteer on that house, that is going to enable you to, like I said, you're going to be able to put in, if all of us get together and we're doing the labor, we're doing the actual fixing of the house, we're bringing in the materials, we got people with skills, people are learning, a lot of you are learning while you're, a lot of us are learning while we're fixing up these houses. We got brothers doing the tile work, brothers doing the, taking the windows out, replacing the windows, brothers painting, brothers cleaning up the yard, brothers throwing away the trash and debris. You telling me we can't all get together and do this? We already have brothers that are in real estate already. You telling me y'all can't while one of us is out there, while a group of us are out there, fixing up one house, you mean to tell me 5 or 10 of y'all can't be scoping out the neighborhood? Y'all can't be passing out flyers to, asking people, leaving flyers on people's door, say, do you want to sell this home? Do you want to sell your home? Do you need home repairs? Do you need home improvement? Are you telling me that that's not something that y'all could do? We can do, because that is part of our plan, and we will move forward on all of our plans. You mean to tell me if a brother has a great business idea that is going to help further the group, you mean to tell me that we can't all get together, go down to his website, help him make sales, share his website with others, make sure that he gets that social media presence that he needs, create videos for his videos, share his videos. This is about the group. This is not about the individual, because we already know that individuals are limited. Are you a part of the group? That's the question. Are you a part of the group? Because there will be a penalty for brothers who, there will be penalties for people who come in after the fact. For brothers who, that penalty is you're gonna have to wait longer to get your deals funded. And never know, the Most High might give you a penalty. Because if the Most High is calling you to do something and you hesitate, that it might not even be about you. It might be about your family member. It might be a family member that the Most High is calling you to help. It could be your son, your daughter. Y'all can't sit around and wait to see what happens. Y'all can't wait around and be like, oh, yeah, this happened, that happened. We don't got, we don't got time for no excuses out here. Y'all telling me y'all can't go to the next house? A group of y'all can't go to the next house while we're fixing up the first house? You telling me our people, our real estate people can't secure deals, can't put some houses under contract? We might not even do no work on a certain house. We might flip that to a different investor, another person that is within our group. And then we go in there and we help him out as well. And that brother's gonna donate. That brother's gonna split the profits, and he's gonna donate a certain portion of his earnings back to the group, which is gonna enable us to go out there and get more houses. You mean to tell me that a couple of y'all are don't know how to? You mean to tell me none of y'all have a landscaping company that y'all could bring to the table? Where you're actually teaching brothers how to do landscaping work while you're making money, while you're helping the group. That's part of your volunteer work. You could be teaching other brothers. Teach other brothers, hey, go clean up that debris right there. Let's get all this trash out. Let's get this sod out. Let's put out this siding. What are we doing? What are we doing, brothers? Mean to tell me that's y'all won't, y'all can't have some women that's bringing us food while we're doing this, bringing us lunch, making us lunch? Some of the women, we can't have them bringing us lunch? Y'all telling me we can't get this done? I know y'all not telling me that we can't get this done. I need all of y'all at the table. Like I said, it doesn't take a lot of people. You mean to tell me that once we fix up this house, 5 or 10 of y'all can't stay in that house? Live in that house and pay a small amount, or some of y'all can stay in that house. 5, 10 of y'all, 5, whoever, doesn't matter. Y'all maintain the value of that house while that house is going up in value. Y'all get up in the morning and y'all go to the next house. You mean to tell me that one of us don't have an insurance company, so that one of us are not, none of us are in insurance, where we can go to that brother and he can insure our homes? Are y'all telling me that that's the case? You mean to tell me that one of y'all can't go down the street and open up that empty store? A few of y'all, 10, 20, 30 of y'all can't get together and go down the street and open up a store? A corner store, or a or a little mini grocery store or something like that. I know all of y'all gonna shop at that store. Y'all gonna shop at that store because y'all have a vested interest in shopping at that store. You mean to tell me y'all not growing no food? Some of y'all ain't growing no foods to put in that store? You mean to tell me some of y'all don't have products and services that y'all can sell in these stores? While y'all taking over these houses? You know? This is part of the plan. This is part of the plan, and it's very easy to accomplish our goals when we're working together. We split the costs. We learn as we go. You know, we could sell these out. We could keep these houses, or we could sell them. You know, we could live in. Some of us could live in the houses while they're for sale, and you keep it moving. Once that house is sold, you keep it moving. You know, we need soldiers out here. We are moving as one unit, a community. We're moving as a community. You know? You mean to tell me that y'all can't raise funds when other brothers see that y'all doing something positive, y'all doing positive things? Do you mean to tell me that y'all can't raise funds? Do you mean to tell me that y'all can't, put on events and secure your events through our security companies? None of y'all have security companies? We moving as a community. We moving as a unit. You mean to tell me y'all can't fly down somewhere for a week or two and put in that work, a couple of days? You can fly down somewhere for a couple of days and put in some work. You doing your part. Doesn't matter. We got thousands of brothers. You come in, you do your part, you learn something new, and then you go back to where you were, and you continue to move forward. You mean to tell me that you're not willing to do that? Or you can't send someone else that can? Find someone else who's willing to volunteer in your stay? We got to move as a community. We have to move as a community. Anyway, brothers, I just want to let y'all know what's to come. We are moving as a community, as a unit. The key word in community is unity. Moving as one mind. Something happens to one of us, you mean to tell me we don't have no lawyers? We don't have no doctors in our groups? We can't raise funds to support one of our own? We understand how this society works. We can't be so willing to throw brothers under the bus just because this society has thrown them under the bus. Brothers? Anyway, hit the comments section and hit my email. We're moving forward, brothers. This is just the tip, the very tip, and I mean the tip of the iceberg. This is just the very tip of the iceberg. If I'm putting this out there in video, you imagine what the real plans are. for us. You know, I apologize, if it didn't come out perfect, but like I said, bros, y'all understand where I'm coming from. On that note, I want to say peace. Get on the 5 steps.